Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I find it so cringe to say this, but I actually love to come and talk here. I love to chit chat, and so that's why I have to say this, and I want to say this, and it's cringe, but I will do it. Uh, and today is an amazing video because I'm gonna talk. My hair is growing, pimples are growing, but I'm doing amazing things. I'm putting ice on my face. Um, let's see how that goes. But so what I did was on 31st night, also Happy New Year. 31st night, I pulled out cards for all of the month. Like I have this amazing deck which is called the Archetypes deck, and if for those of you watching that don't know what an archetype is, it's like the first form of something. So for example, when I say the word mother, you get all of these traits, the qualities, the good things, the bad things about a mother. So not to say that a mother means only a good figure, it can also have bad qualities. So they have shadow aspects as well. So these decks are full of archetypes, and I've been studying these archetypes for a really, really long time, like ever since I was in college. But now I finally found a deck, and uh, I bought it, and now I'm like, yay, I can study it more, and like they have beautiful cards and everything. So this month, so for January, it's quite interesting actually. Even for me personally, like this makes a lot of sense, but even if you are watching this and if it makes sense to you, you can also see how maybe these things might apply in your life. So there's a misconception that these cards are only used for like divination purposes. Divination means to like predict things, to predict the future, um, and what is going to happen and all of that. So I personally don't like to do that because I love to live in the present, and if I'm living in the future, then what's the point of me being here right now? So yeah, so this is basically to just understand ourselves, all the things that are going on below the surface that we might not have access to. So but if we get like a cue, like we say, oh, this is a sign, oh, that's a sign. So I really believe that there are things happening, and if we think it's a sign, then it is a sign. So it helps me to guide my way through. uh, it's better to rely on my own guidance than to have like guidance from outside, and these tools help me. So it's not like, oh, if this wasn't there, like if this card didn't come out in my reading and something else came, I would find a way to relate to that as well, because the outside thing is not the real thing. It's the inside thing that is interacting with the outside world. So this month's card is it's very scary actually. It's the apocalypse. It's such a beautiful card. Oh, I love this deck. Ooh. It's matching my clothes, it's matching my surroundings. Yeah. So apocalypse. So when I first saw this, I was like, shit. But then I did some research as to what this means. So apocalypse in Greek mythology is more like uncovering of something. So when there's a veil is lifted, so there's a lot of things that come to light when we say apocalypse, but in a very painful way. It comes to light in the most wretched way possible. Like it brings a lot of pain, because in like on social media and in pop culture, we've seen like apocalypse means like complete destruction. Yes, it is that. It is complete destruction, which brings a lot of pain, but essentially, etymologically, the word means it's an uncovering. It's the veil is lifting, and this is what apocalypse is. So it's very nice to think like what are the few things for me, and it's very nice that this card came in January because it marks, like, it marks the end of something which is the last year, and it's now the new year. So there's a lot of things that for me personally, I felt like there was a lot of pain that I went through uh, for certain things, and it helped me acknowledge that yeah, it was, in fact, it was a painful experience. I left my job, so that was a painful experience. There's a lot of grieving because I was so connected to that place. I loved it, I loved the people, but uh, there were many things that when I was at that job, I realized like this kind of work isn't meant for me. Even though I love it, it's just the build up is such that of my personality that I'm not able to do it, and I don't want to do it. But I love that. Uh, I love the place, EcoFem. I love it. And I always be connected to them. But for now, in this stage of my life, I cannot be there at that place. And everyone was sweet. They saw me off and like, I want to give them all of them a big hug. But that realization was painful because there was a lot of anxiety involved and all of this. But there was an uncovering. So there are two aspects of like apocalypse. One is the lifting of the veil. All the things that were previously hidden, because everything is now destroyed, you can actually see. It's like, when there's like an earthquake, you see the debris, then you can actually see, oh, even this was there, oh, even this was there. So that's what an apocalypse does, is that it destroys everything and everything's into small pieces, and now you're walking in that destruction. You're seeing, oh my god, there's so much I didn't know that was there, within me, and even outside, but mostly within. Like for me, I like to go within. And yeah, so this card, I could relate to it in that way, that now I can finally see. And then there's the second, there's always two, as I mentioned, there's always a light aspect and a shadow aspect of um, these archetypes. So this was the shadow aspect, that there's like the veil is lifted, and like everything is here and there, and then you see the things that you were avoiding for so long. But then after this comes regeneration, like new ways of doing things. So, and I also love this uh, sometimes I can just go blank. My head is spinning. I was talking so loudly. Anyway, what I was saying is that there is regeneration. This is the second, this is the other extreme, where after everything is destroyed, when you see all the destroyed, all the scattered parts around you, and then there is, I won't say hope, but then there is a possibility for regeneration, and whatever that unknown space that was created because of the destruction, because of the apocalypse, now you have, it's like there's newness. Where that space can be filled with anything, you know just like. And it also, one more thing comes to me, like when America bombed Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and after that, so I was reading somewhere that most countries that are very successful now, like even Germany for that matter, had gone through like so much problems, that when they came out of it, but yeah, I know for sure Japan, like that was complete apocalypse, right? That was such a bad time. um, but then the way they had space to rebuild, that's what you can think of this card as, or think of this month as, is to allow that space to be there, allow that space after the destruction, after the pain, that empty space, allow it to be there. It's okay, you know. Sometimes we get scared of the unknown. Like for now, I don't have my job. I mean, I don't have a steady, I don't have like, I'm not employed anywhere. And I've been in this place before, but, and it was okay, I know. But now I'm just so much more aware of the fact that I don't have a job. I don't have money coming in every month. I mean, I do. I have another thing that's my own venture. But, you know, it's like now I'll know what it means to actually completely bank on yourself and not on things outside. But also, I have extra time now, and what I will what I actually have now with that time is a lot of time to think. Wow, I'm already an overthinker, but I have time to think, I have time to see how I can really, what is it that Shreya likes to do when there's no pressure, you know? Actually, I left that job because of the pressure. Like, it was not actually a lot of pressure, like someone else would have been in my place, they would be just fine. But there's a lot of baggage that I also come with, and if I want to be really gentle with myself, handhold myself through the whole process, how would I do it? I wouldn't do the job. I would take this time, I would listen to, okay, what's happening? So, this is that new space, you know, this is that new space that I have to explore. And usually I would be really scared of such a space, but I think I'm a human and I'm on this earth for not a long time, so I need to like do what feels like fun and not something that feels. But yeah, that's my story, and this is my invitation for you to see what feels like. It doesn't have to be as big as what it was for me, it can be as small as anything. Like, you know, as small as, oh, you decided to sell off some furniture and now you have that space empty, and now what are you going to do with that empty space? You can do anything. It's like, just imagine, like, that's so amazing. You have a choice. You sold your furniture and now you have empty space. I don't even know, sometimes I talk so much, but that's okay. So fill your spaces with new beautiful things, because there's lots of possibilities. And yeah, so that's what apocalypse is. It's not a bad thing, it's destruction. It's lifting of the veil. Ooh. Whoa, I don't have anything to lift like this, but yeah, it's lifting of the veil. It's seeing a lot of things that you were not willing to see before. But after that, there's also, after you've seen everything, there's space. You can use that space to create something beautiful, to explore. And yes, thank you for listening. And uh, feel free to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, because I've seen like a few people subscribe and it gave me some motivation. Oh, people are watching, so I can talk more, and I can like spend this time that I have that is free to explore. And I really recently I realized that I love sharing, uh, and I love like expressing and talking. So if you are watching and if you enjoy, please like, please share, please comment, please subscribe. It'll be nice for me to also know, um, you know, that someone out there is watching, and whoever subscribed like recently. And thank you so much, it means a lot. Okay, bye 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 bye.